the outside. And this guy's got
You buttoned your shirt. Why? He said, I buttoned my shirt because you have 3% body fat.
Because it's awkward, right? We now are allowed to not have to wear ties.
Yeah,
so,
I
like,
would
this
prefer
button
ties.
here is like goofy. Like, do you go
Do you
like
do it?
Vinny
Do you not do
Barbarino?
it? Yeah, I don't really have like the chest hair or the, I don't know,
Well,
or
see,
the
I
tan.
think not having the chest hair is a plus.
Okay.
But you do get the sense when you're watching and you see someone in a coat and a buttoned-up shirt, you're like, why is he missing a tie? Yeah. That is the dilemma we face.
Yeah, but it's not a dilemma because we like being a little casual.
He doesn't
really
have
don't.
chest hair, right?
Right. I've got a tremendous amount of back hair, but not chest hair.
Interesting.
It's very interesting.
See where we're going with this, Anthony?
Anthony, welcome.
Good morning.
Hey, a little bit of housekeeping here. Let's give you the updated results or the final results.
Not.
For Mark DeRosa as he rolls away with his selection of Devil Went Down to Georgia. Rich, of course, referencing Freddie Freeman's return to face the Atlanta Braves. So as we look at the updated standings, it's now a tie atop the first with yours truly, Mark DeRosa and Lauren Shahade still lurking there with 3 wins.
That was despite you retweeting the choices and my thirsty pleas. It didn't work.
Yeah,
Darn
you were
it,
very
it did not work.
I think I would have won it had you not been so thirsty. Vote for me and I'll follow you on Twitter and all those ham and eggers out there.
It didn't work, though. It didn't work despite my failed attempt. Robert's Stay Ready team is well documented, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to get ready.
If you stay ready.
If you stay ready.
J.P. Crawford is on it.
That's right.
Amir Garrett is on it.
Oh, I like it.
Jesse Winker is on it.
Jesse Winker definitely on it. Rysel Iglesias.
Coco Crisp is an alumnus. So, yeah.
Mabry's Valoria, is he on the team? Bat flies into the dugout. Watch this. It's like it's in slow motion. I would hit the deck, not him, not him. Watch this right
what happened?
here. Got it.
Shades of Luis Guillorme.
Oh.
Training. I mean, and the Braves security officer actually earlier this year.
That's right. The Anaheim for White Sox and Angels to wake it up, and what Brandon Marsh called a complete team win. No score in the bottom of the second, a runner on. Deep to right field, bounces off the glove of Gavin Sheets, off the top of the wall, and the hit initially ruled a 2-run home run. What do we think? Play goes under review. What say you? It's overturned. Ball never leaves the field of play. And Marsh instead settles for an RBI triple.
It's got to go over the fence still.
Andrew Vaughn in the top of the 6th had a 4-hit game a week ago.
I like this dude.
Why?
He just that hit tool is on full display.
I mean, he rakes. He has
does.
been fire lately.
Good Lord.
So has Jose Abreu later in the inning, hitting .327 over his last 2 weeks. An RBI double over the head of Marsh and left, and the White Sox tie it up. A big spot. Thank you, sir. Angels aren't at full strength. But honestly, who is? Runners on second and third. Taylor Ward, bottom 7.
I don't know. I feel pretty good right now.
Do you?
Yeah, I mean,
Mid-season form?
about as good as it's going to get.
Both runs score despite a collision at the plate, right?
Oh,
Here, 4-3 your final. Brandon Marsh spoke after the game about the team's win.
I mean, it's huge. You know, we want to play well behind Noah. He threw a hell of a game, and as well with Pep and Iggy. But we just wanted to get some support for our pitchers, and you know, tonight was a lot of fun. Yeah, no, it's awesome. Trying to get us back in the dugout very quick, keep the pace of play going, get the hitters going. But yeah, it was a lot of fun out there in the outfield. It took a whole team effort, and glad we came out with a W.
We are watching the AL wildcard standings. Are 4 teams from the East going to play in the postseason? Because that is where it stands right now. And right or wrong, I think all of us in March, in April, we look at each division and we kind of circle our winner, right? And I think we would agree on this, and tell me if I'm wrong, that for the Central, a lot of us would have picked the White Sox.
Sure.
It has not translated on paper. Why, Al?
Well, we'll start with injuries, right? I mean, it seems like since spring training. I think, look, they win the division last year. Their bugaboo was that they didn't beat the better teams. And that always used to kind of bother me because I really, outside of maybe when I was with the Mets and the Braves were just the juggernaut, like I didn't ever really think like, oh, okay, well, there's a team, we're playing a team over 500. Oh, we better play better. Like,
no.
That was never the case. So injuries, I think it's been all over the place. Outside of, I mean, you just mentioned about Vaughn. Anderson comes back. He had an injury for a bit. You know, there hasn't been enough. Luis Robert's been good, but not great. So offensively, it's been very sporadic. Keuchel's been released, let go since. Lance Lynn had a knee problem. He's finally come back. Your best pitcher is Dylan Cease. I mean, you can go kind of on and on. Bummer and Liam Hendricks are on the IL. So on and on. It's like you're waiting for it. I am. Like,
yeah, 100%. We were just talking about
Yeah, right?
This team, they have so many pieces. And we just talked about a couple of guys offensively who are getting going. It seems like they can't gel. They can never do it together. Either the pitching, your starter pitcher might let them down one day. Then the bullpen might let them down the next day. Then offensively, they're just not there the next day. They just have not been able to find that. And I'm sure you've been on teams where you feel like you're fighting, you're battling, you're trying to get it going, but for some reason, something happens every day. We saw I would call that a defensive miscue by Gavin Sheets. That ball should have been caught. It's in his glove, it seemed like. Not an easy play by any means, but just things like that just seem to happen where I call it, you find a way to lose instead of finding a way to win, and that's where this team seems to be.
Lucas Giolito had a couple of really rough starts prior to last night, but he was much better last night for the White Sox. Did not figure in the decision. What did you see from him last night as opposed to a couple of his previous starts?
I thought his secondary pitches were really good last night. And look, I think often, for me and others that get a chance, Anthony, to play in the big leagues, that it's not a cookie-cutter blueprint stamp. It's not. Once you get there, it's like, okay, I got it. I figured it out. No, you didn't. So as a result, I think with Lucas Giolito, there's a moment, and maybe it's now, that you start looking within, what am I doing well, what am I not doing well, and how do I attack it? And whether it's a pitch repertoire usage, as you see here from 21 to 22, if you look at this broad stroke, maybe some more changeups, but it's about the same. Like he's a fastball, established fastball strikes, get to his slider, mostly to right-handers, changeups to left-handers, very occasional curveball, as you can see. This has been a difference. The spin rate has gone down. Now, I'm not an analytics guy, but they tell me that, a couple hundred RPMs is a lot. So what happens? What does that mean? Especially with your fastball. There are guys that have learned to throw with respect to what analytics has told them. High fastballs, big breaking ball down in the dirt. So you got the elevated high fastball with good vertical, what's called vertical movement, this induced movement. And if your spin rate goes down, that high fastball becomes less attractive because it doesn't have that hop. So if you look at the numbers based on what's transpired,
Wow.
Yeah, the slug.
The slugging percentage is the big one.
That's big.
Especially on the changeup. That's a stark.
And that was his pitch.
Yeah.
That was the changeup was his pitch.
Yes.
So if the fastball RPMs aren't the same and they're not getting the same giddy up, and now the changeup, it's not going to look the same. It's to the hitter. It's not going to have that same bite down.
So they're just laying off the changeup.
Laying off it, or they're just the timing, because the fastball velocity is actually down a little bit too for him.
Yes,
so they're starting to come together a little bit more. And for hitters, I mean, you want that the velocity variation, and you're not getting that as much for him anymore. That's really big for him.
Yes, it is. And Anthony, you stood behind there for years of seeing pitches where certain pitchers will have a velocity and guys don't pick it up. It's like, man, I can't see it. I can't pick it up. And then you look at the scoreboard and say, oh, 94. Like, why aren't they? So that's that hop.
Yeah.
And it does make this separator for his secondary pitches. All pitchers, your secondary pitches have to go off your fastball. I don't care if you throw 88 or 98. And I think of, Giolito over the period of time. He was a top high school pick by the Nationals, gets traded over to the White Sox. He revamped his arm action.
Yeah.
The arm action, I don't know if they're able to stop this, but on the backside, folks, if you could see what he's done on it was arm action and then this short thing, right? So this became in vogue because it's a matter of being able to consistently be in the right release point to make consistent pitches. 19, he was stellar. The changeup, the slider, good fastball life, made the All-Star team in Cleveland. Like, he was a dude. And it was like, aha, there's the start of it, of him being able to change it and become the next level guy that everybody thought in baseball. And by any stretch, like, there's a lot there. But when you then have some controlled problems, perhaps, and you get in bad counts, here's fastball in, miss, Gurriel, first pitch, breaking ball, 0-0 count. Does this happen? Absolutely. But when it seems like when you're not doing well and you do have to make those moments of good pitches, they're up down by one and you have a pitch there right out over the plate, you're not hitting your spots, it's not good. So here, he kind of got with his pitching coach and said, listen, man, let's expand more. Let me try to establish down in the zone. You don't get major league hitters to swing at these pitches if you don't have the ability to spot your fastball. So if Lucas has the ability to be able to command early, and I just wanted to show in the bat here, a little slider, first pitch to get in the count to Trout. He went the high fastball. Anytime if you don't have plus velocity, and this is Mike Trout, who really is exceptional down the zone, best player in the game. He now, I think, if he gets success and has the ability to understand that, okay, I don't have that same elite fastball with respect to blowing it by guys upstairs, high spin.